Hi, everybody. It's Linda G and our famous Mel.
Hey, hi, Linda.
So he's going to show off. Go ahead. Tell us where you were.
Well, we were in St. Croix, and Linda and I had decided to do a show from down there. And so we finally got on the internet because it's real sketchy. And there's a beautiful Caribbean Ocean behind me. And I bought this shirt, and then Zoom kept freezing, and we couldn't do it.
We could do it.
Okay, I brought St. Croix with me to all of you, and especially a big dose to you, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you. It was beautiful. Those pictures you sent.
Oh, yeah.
That water was pristine.
Oh, my God. It is so amazing. And
is it warm?
Yeah, it was like one day it was 80, but there's always a breeze blowing. And then at night it would rain. It gets cooler. I didn't turn the air conditioner on one time.
Okay.
You don't really need it, but I know you like your AC. So if you ever come down there.
Do they have rooms with AC?
Oh, yeah, they do. Of course, yeah, they do.
This girl, I gotta have some cold.
I thought of you. I told Gary, I bet Linda would like this. I said, but I can hear her now. This girl's got to have her AC.
I got to have my AC. I got to have it.
And then we come back to Chicago and it's like 45, which is the heat wave here.
Yeah. It's 21 out here.
Oh my God.
It's bad.
Yeah, and you guys are going to get a lot of bad weather. I see a lot of ice storms in the Northeast, probably Chicago, a lot of snow in the Northwest, lots of rain in the East.
Damn.
My guide showed me a lot of record cold, flooding, tornadoes, snow. I mean,
wow. Hold on, I just got to get this out. Okay, so right now, apparently, I'm getting a bunch of different things, but apparently there is talk of Putin and Biden meeting.
okay.
And there've been a lot of shelling done in East Ukraine. And there's a lot of people getting on buses, moving out. And word is two things that I want to tell you. One is he's sick. Putin has Parkinson's as well as cancer. Somebody was saying it's a terminal cancer, but
Now,
you know,
I'm just curious, how did that come out?
it was on Twitter, and there was people saying some certain magazines. I was writing to people saying this is true.
Okay.
And then also there is, hold on, I'll tell you.
Well, let me just interject something.
Yeah.
It's so reminiscent of Hitler, I think in 1938 or 39, because Hitler said that there were a lot of German people, Volkskinder, that means people of German descent, in Czechoslovakia. And he said the Czechoslovakians were treating them poorly. So he used that to march into
Czechoslovakia. That's what Putin's doing.
Right. And then to Poland. But it's funny, at that same time, Hitler also had Parkinson's. So that's why Hitler always had his left hand behind his back, because it had a
shaking, yeah.
So
and they get delusional on Parkinson.
It can cause senile dementia. It can cause all of that.
So France pushed for a meeting with Biden and Putin, and then the U.S. has announced to the bigwigs, what is the name of it? The group that NATO, that they have intel has found. They're just blabbing. United States used to keep things under the hat. They're just letting everybody know. They've told them that Russia has a list of Ukrainians to kill or detain after an invasion.
Yes, I heard that they'll arrest Ukrainian dissidents and people that are against them and kill them and jail them. And that's what Hitler did when he marched through the Nazis, you know, and they're going to treat the Ukrainian people. He wants to break the Ukrainian people's spirit. But if you look on the map, Russia's here, Belarus is here, Ukraine is here, and at the top there's a Latvian republic. Right down here is Moldova, Romania, and if he can get into Ukraine, there's nothing to stop him from going into those Eastern European countries. He wants the countries in the old Soviet Union back. That's what he wants.
Right.
And we need to step up and say absolutely not.
Right.
And he knows the United States is tired of war because of the Afghanistan thing.
Right.
Somebody's got to stop him because it's very frightening.
And also they're saying that that the Russian military veterans renew criticism of Putin.
I think a lot of people are criticizing. That's what my guide showed me. But what he's trying to do is isolate off those NATO countries, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and a lot of the other NATO countries, so they can't come in. And I mean, it's really frightening. At least that's what my guide showed me is in his head.
Right,
But I think he's underestimating that the Russian people are not going to want it.
right.
And he's underestimating how fierce the Ukrainians will fight back.
Yes.
Now, some people are saying he just wants Eastern Ukraine, but I think he wants
Oh, no.
all of Ukraine. And they're going to fight.
And I see him being in huge trouble. I see him
Yes.
having to run.
Now, having said that, I have a lot of friends here in Chicago who are from the former Soviet Union, who are Russian, some are Ukraine, many of them are Jewish, many aren't. And, me making these comments against Putin is no condemnation of the Russian people at all.
No.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
wonderful people. It's just that they have.
Well,
and
they start doing
people-
those sanctions and these poor people, I remember the bread lines in Russia. It was terrible.
Yeah.
They start having to stand in bread lines again. You're going to see an absolute upheaval.
Well, I think he wants to starve Ukraine just like Stalin did.
Yeah.
And Stalin took all the wheat from Ukraine and sent it everywhere, and the Ukrainians were starving.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He killed like 40 million people, anywhere from 20 to 40. Stalin did. He just didn't do it by genocide. But I was thinking, and my guides show me that this would be a genocide, specifically by them invading unprovoked, and specifically for them trying to to dishearten the Ukrainian people.
Exactly.
And if he's going to arrest dissidents and then jail them and kill them, that's clearly genocide.
Exactly.
So
Damn, my friend.
I think he's going to invade soon, Linda. I've just got this uneasy feeling. I don't know what you're doing, but my guides are showing it to me.
And also, Kata said, I was really bummed out by all the cheating and incompetent judging at the Olympics. I wanted to ask Mel if we ever see Russia banned from international competition or actually punished in any way for the terrible display of child abuse during the figure skating competition. Will those Russian teenage athletes be able to continue to skate and realize their dreams, or have the Russian Olympic Committee finally gone too far with state-sponsored doping? And listen, they were cruel to that girl when she fell out on the ice. They gave her no hugs or anything.
Well, the sad part is under the old Soviet system, and I'm not condoning that, they put a lot of money into their athletes and they trained really great ice skaters. Unfortunately, it's gotten very corrupt. Now, I love ice skating. It is my
I love ice skating too.
I used to skate. As much as I wasn't professional, but I could skate pretty well. But as much as I love dog training, it's my passion. And, when I see what happened, it's very heartbreaking. But I don't think that the Russian athletes should be banned just because there was horrible decision-making from the Russian Olympic Committee.
I mean, that poor girl, she was on some heart medicine.
Right.
She was only 14 years old.
Right. And there's certain meds that are banned. And so, could have been innocent. Who knows?
Oh, I doubt it. They're known for being liars and cheating.
I doubt it. But, Linda, the thing is, I have to say, these ice skaters, they start from the time they're children.
I know.
And they skate morning and night. They get tutored, and it's just a complete dedication. And it's a lot of sacrifice for them. But you can still have great skaters and train them and do it humanely and give them a great education. There's no room for abuse at all.
No.
And so I don't think Russia's going to be banned, but I think what they're going to do is require certain testing before people compete in certain.
Period.
Correct.
Well, I also think that Putin's getting ready to be taken over.
Well, I think there's going to be a revolution in Russia as well. I see a civil war in Belarus, and I got a funny feeling that, the Russian stock markets are already plummeting, and my guide showed me them plummeting more. And the sanctions are just.
We're plummeting out here in the US too.
Right.
Thanks to this war. Yeah.
Well, China's already stood up and said that they support Ukrainian sovereignty.
What?
And
I thought they were for Russia.
no, they want to keep. I just heard today that China, the president said, no, Ukraine should be Ukraine. Putin should leave it alone.
Oh, that's huge because that's not what they said before.
Well, I just heard it. So
That's great. That's wonderful.
I was trying to do my homework.
Okay. I hated homework. Did you hate homework? I always hated it.
I hated homework. I never did it. Except now.
Okay. For many years, this is from Danella. For many years, elders of the first people, Native Americans, have spoken about prophecies of the changes. It's way too much info to write here, and anyone can search on YouTube. But they're saying this is the beginning of Armageddon. Through their prophecies, did warn about the 2 world wars in the 20th century. My question is, if you would ask your guides any information that they may offer, any information they may offer on this, is the human collective and the earth moving from the 4th world to the 5th world? How will this manifest? Thank you.
Okay. I don't know about the Native American prophecy that she's speaking, but they did, I think Sitting Bull or a few warned us about that we have to nurture the earth. And I think that nature is letting us know that with all this climate change. And I think ultimately my guys show me we'll get that message. As far as the 3rd World War is concerned, it frightens me, but I still see futures for people.
Okay.
And, Einstein said he didn't know how they would fight the 3rd World War, but the 4th one would be fought with sticks and stones.
Wow.
And so he was talking about nuclear annihilation. But, it's mutual destruction if they do that. So I don't think Putin is that crazy. I do see this war spilling over, and I see a lot of countries in Europe. But I think a lot of people are going to stand up against Putin. And, every dictator has their Waterloo. And I think this will be the beginning of the end for Putin. I really do.
I do too. He's cutting his nose to spite his face.
But as far as it leading to a 3rd World War, Linda, I watched one of your shows before I left. I always watch your shows. But you didn't see it going into a world war, nor did I.
No, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid.
Right.
Somebody like Kim Jong-un, who wouldn't care if his people were blown up to oblivion, but Putin still wants to live.
Putin is too much of a sociopath. They don't want to, people like him that are so power hungry, they typically don't want to die.
Right. Here's somebody asking a political question. Do you guys see our Gavin Newsom? Is he moving up? Thank you.
Oh, he's the governor out there, right?
Yeah. I'm going to that restaurant that was the big scandal. I'm going to the French Laundry today.
Really? Ooh.
Taking Vinny for his birthday.
Get me a menu, would you?
Oh yeah, I have it on my phone. I'll get it to you.
No, I'll hang it
Well,
up.
if you and your husband come out, as long as you give me notice, I can get us reservations.
Perfect. I'd love that. I'll be like, I ate here.
I was at the French Laundry, and they give you little tiny, teeny, tiny, like this big on the plate. I'm looking at that saying, bitch, I need more food than this. Shoot, do I look like a teetotaler to you?
I could put that in the cavity of my tooth.
Oh my God. But then what they do is they keep bringing all this different types of tastes and
like tapas, so you get a lot of it.
And then by the time they got to the dessert, they give you all kinds of, and I love me my dessert, but I was so stuffed. I couldn't finish it.
There's always room for creme brulee.
Oh my God. It's like butter. It's like butter.
My arteries go like that when I eat it.
So what, do you see anything for Gavin? Is he going to run for president eventually?
Well, I think he's enjoying being governor.
Yeah.
I think he probably had thoughts of using that to, the California position to run as president. I do see him once he's out of California in a high level government position, but I don't know about president. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm not saying necessarily president.
He may try. I see him try, but this is years from now. He'll be a lot older.
I think he'd be better in the Senate, actually.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm
Now,
thinking.
maybe that's it, yeah. So do you ever see term limits for Democrats and Republicans in Congress?
I see that, yes. Obviously not while not where it stands now. I mean,
Yeah.
let's have to get more
Well,
people.
you can't let the wolf watch you can't let these people determine their own fate. They make up their own rules. They're
Right.
not required to do anything. It may be suggested, but they're not required to, you know, on the stock market and stuff. There's no rule yet. And, you know, they just kind of do what they want to do, and that to heck with it, just like the Supreme Court. That Baxter and whatever her name is, her
Right.
husband had some cases come up. She didn't step down. She still heard them.
Well, my guides show me that at some point there will be term limits, just not, we have to get a better majority in Congress, I mean, in the Senate, all right, and keep the House. The thing that bothers me is once a senator, I think their term is 6 years. Once they're out, I think they get that salary for life. And I am so against that.
Okay.
And they
Good
put
medical benefits too.
exactly. And they want to tell us how we should get our medical benefits. Wrong. They put, who was it that who went to jail for insider trading? She was a television, I can't think of
Martha
it.
Stewart?
Martha Stewart. But you know what? They put her in jail for that. But a lot of the senators can do the insider trading because they're passing the legislation and it's not illegal for them.
Nothing touches them, right?
She went to jail for that. So I find that hypocrisy. So I think my guides are telling me at some point, they're going to say that senators cannot engage in insider trading. They cannot let lobbyists buy them off. I see a lot of change coming. And I see a lot of laws coming for the Supreme Court as to how they must recuse themselves and how they must behave on the bench.
Okay.
A lot of reform.
So listen, did you hear, I didn't hear this. Somebody said they heard a talk of a $1,400 stimulus check for seniors.
I didn't hear that, but I did hear, as much as I don't like him, that Mitt Romney is trying to put through, I think, what was it? Wasn't people getting extra money for children or something? So he's going to, so he's going to try to reinstate that. I just saw.
Okay. Okay.
And he will actually, he can't do it on his own, but he'll
but
get
it's something that other people agree on.
Correct. And I agree on that too. I'm not a Republican, but I do agree with helping families with kids.
Hey, this is a good one. Donna, she said our Pluto return is hitting in our second house of what we value and our money. What do you feel? What happens there?
Well, actually, even though, gas prices are going up, we have inflation, our economy is doing halfway decent.
Right. But it's dropping now, thanks to this.
It'll drop, but it'll come back up.
Right, right.
This, depending on how Biden handles this invasion with Ukraine, I think that'll bring his popularity back up again.
Okay.
And so I'm not worried about another depression right now at all.
No, me neither.
I think this inflation will be curbed. My guides show me as soon as the supply chain crisis is over, which I feel will happen soon.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what the question was.
Well, it's that Pluto's returning in the United States second house, which means it's value.
Well, I think we're already realigning our values, not so much money wise, but like a lot of us are going to stand up and say, we no longer want that smaller minority, 35 or 40%, to tell the rest of us how to live our lives. And the rest of us are going to start speaking up and demanding action is taken.
Yeah. And then a place like Wyoming gets 2 senators and California's got more people than anybody. And we've got this, it's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Nope, it's not.
So listen, Jeff said his wife suddenly had Bill Clinton come into her head this morning. And when she said his name, I got full body chills. We both do now when we think of him. Have you had any strong feelings about something with Bill Clinton?
No, I haven't, but that whole Durham thing about Hillary is a bunch
Oh
of.
my God, but Durham came out and said that that was when Obama was in office. It has nothing to do with Trump. Oh, Fox News couldn't get off of it.
I rest my case.
Oh, and the Sons were making videos. There you go. They were spying, and it has nothing to do. Durham actually came out and said Fox News is spinning this wrong.
But I think that part of that Trump had something to do with
Oh
how
God, yeah. Well, like that guy said, that actually is a Republican.
he is.
No, this guy said that, not Durham. He said, you know, he lost the damn election. Okay, they had Arizona redo it. They came back and said, he lost, and Bill Clinton and Trump went up there his biggest day and told everybody, oh, they found out I won. He lied straight face to everybody.
Which is bullshit.
And also that Mueller report.
Right.
Oh, I've been, you know, nothing to see here. Oh, bull, that's not what happened.
Isn't it funny how when he won, after his people colluded with the Russians, okay, he still denigrated Hillary and Barack. Now that he lost an election fair and square, he ain't putting it to bed. Now, if Hillary had done
What he did? Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it would have been an uproar. But you know, it's okay for him.
Yeah, get over it. Like, oh no, the Democrats stole the election, but in the meantime, all the Republicans that won, we'll just leave them there.
All they have to do is just bring the Mueller report front and center, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And there's proof in that report that they did collude with the Russians to put Trump in the White House.
Oh yeah, in the Mueller report, heck yeah.
That's correct.
Hey, I want you to clear your mind. Clear your mind.
Okay.
I'm going to just throw this out. This is from Donna. Why does Putin want a meeting with Biden all of a sudden?
Or is it that Biden wants a meeting with Putin?
Well, I thought it was the French guy that wanted them to meet. The French guy talked him into it, Macron.
Well, Biden's going to be tough. He's going to be really tough, my guide showed me, like an anvil. And they might think he's easy, but he's not. Macron is going to be tough. Putin doesn't want NATO in Ukraine because they're already in the Baltic republics, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and he's surrounded by NATO countries except for, I think, Serbia, and European Union countries as well. He wants to control those regions again, like I said earlier, and he's going to try to stop at nothing, but he's going to be gone. I think the meeting was called to try to settle it with detente, but it's not going to work.
Right. Biden, well, listen, they're already letting the NATO know, hey, they're planning on arresting and sacrificing good Ukrainians.
That's right. And Biden is like, this is how it is. If you do this, here's what's going to happen. But Biden's got some tricks up his sleeve too.
Okay.
So my guides show me that meeting was called by Macron to try to settle up with detente, but otherwise it's a warning to Putin, back off.
Wow. Did you see that poor Mrs. Macron, his wife? He married a woman a little older than he was. She's having to sue the French media because they're all claiming she's trans.
Really?
And she's not.
You know, the bigger question is, who cares?
I know, but why do people have to go into that nonsense?
Because what they do is they play on people's fears and xenophobias, and they plant stories of misinformation, which is what Trump did, which is what Putin does, to try to cast doubt on people that are really trying to do good.
Yeah.
Here. It's misinformation.
Oh, here's a good one from Charlie. Will Tuckums have legal issues for his BS against our government? Did you hear that on Fox News? I don't know if it's true, but they're saying it on Twitter, that he wants to have a meeting with Putin to film.
Who does?
Tuckums.
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah. I also call him Effer Carlson.
Oh boy. Tucker's trying to make a name for himself. I think at some point he wants to run for political office, but I see him leaving Fox. I see him gone.
Good. Well,
Um,
I keep seeing the guy dying, the guy that owns Fox News. When he dies and those sons take over, it won't be as ugly. They're going to turn it around.
I see it coming back to center.
Yeah. Maybe won't make as much money because they loved all those people. But the other thing is when Trump goes, well, however he goes, it's just it just melts. People are almost walking around like, who?
Actually, if it came back to center a little bit, it might make more money because more people will be watching. We
Right.
know who watches it now. It's not the majority of
Because
us.
they're lying so much.
Correct. Just like they lied on that whole Durham thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're right. I think once the old man dies, it'll be different.
Yeah.
But as far as Tucker Carlson getting an interview with Putin, if he does, I'm sure, I wonder how it'll be slanted. I'm sure.
Well, he's as far as I'm concerned, especially at this time of age, it's treasonous.
Well, here's the deal. If at least 60% of us in this country are against Putin invading Ukraine, and if he starts siding with them, and which he probably will with the Russians, at some point, it's going to bite him hard.
Bite him hard, yeah.
Bad political move, bad business move, bad career move on his point.
So here's a good one. Tomorrow is 2/22/22. Is anything out of the ordinary going to occur?
No, other than it's 2/22/22.
I see the stock market dropping pretty good.
I see a lot of inclement weather, and I see invasion imminent. I don't know if it's tomorrow, but with all those twos, 22, what is it?
2/22/22.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that makes an 8. I don't know what 8 is in numerology.
What goes around comes around.
Was that what it is? Infinity? Okay, well, that's a good thing then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Laura said, when is the RNC going to stop paying Trump's legal bills?
That's another thing I think there's going to be, my guide show me regulation on. Like if he's committed a crime, even when he was president, they shouldn't be paying his legal bills.
Right, exactly. It's just so weird.
And well, at some point, I think they're going to get tired of paying his legal bills. But
right, exactly.
But I see it not, I mean, about another year and a half, because it's going to be very draining to them.
Right, right. Oh,
So-
yeah. So what about Roger Stone? Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. You haven't heard much about him lately, huh?
Nothing. Although he did say, who did he call a fat-headed? Oh, he called the governor of Florida, because I think the governor of Florida is going to challenge Trump. He says, I remember this guy when he was a nobody, fat-headed, obese, such and such.
Wow.
And then he said, by the way, I've got something real good on him. People would be dying to know.
Wow.
Look at it, even upset Jack.
See, I heard Jack, that was an affirmation.
Yeah.
Roger Stone's like a bad penny. He'll surface from time to time. But I still see him in a lot of legal trouble, and I see him getting indicted, and I see him orange also.
He said that. He said he knew he was going to get indicted again. But it's so funny because his head's shaped. Did you see how his head is shaped? He looks like those things that are on that island, those heads that are sticking up. He looks just like that with that flat back head. The Roger Stone stones.
What was culture that
Okay, Jack.
head between boards to make it pointed? I got a new name for him, Conehead. Isn't that good?
Conehead, there you go.
Okay,
So did you have questions too?
So Roger Stone, when I'm writing this down, is now Conehead.
Is now Conehead.
Yeah, we can't call him Mel Doerr. That's an insult to Dan Aykroyd. Okay.
I have more questions. I was just being courteous.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You know what? I really didn't have any.
Okay, is Biden ready to take drastic actions to rebalance the Supreme Court?
The answer to that is yes. Absolutely unequivocally.
They just have so much on their plate right now.
Well, I think, he's waiting to see what he can get through with this justice, but I see Clarence Thomas. We've both said this. Clarence Thomas gone.
I know.
And in addition to this justice, I see 2 or 3 more coming on. So
Yeah. Karen asked, who were the giants that lived on the earth years ago?
that I do not know.
Okay. I'm wondering about Trump saying he was being audited on his taxes. How tied to Mazars is that? Or was Trump also lying about being audited because he was delaying showing his taxes?
He was lying about being
He was
audited
lying.
because he didn't want to show his taxes because
I'd love to show my taxes, but they're being audited. And I think the IRS even state just
exactly.
because we're auditing doesn't mean he can't show them.
That's right. But that will come public. I think it's going to come public through the January 6th commission, but through New York and that whole case. People kind of forgot about that, but don't forget about that, because that is going to be one of Trump's biggest downfalls.
Okay. So Donna was saying the Saudis are awfully quiet, and also Trump's supposed to be doing a big Saudi golf event.
Well, my guides show me that Trump indirectly has leaked a lot of secrets to Putin.
Yeah.
And I think they're nervous about that pipeline going through Ukraine. Putin wants that because he can control oil, but it's not going to happen. So obviously the Saudis are talking to Trump because they've all got interest in what it's going to do to the oil reserves.
But that's all Jared, right? Jared's all part of that.
Oh, absolutely, totally.
Yeah.
And Linda, a lot of that's going to come to the surface too. I think behind closed doors, the Saudis, through dark money channels, might be funneling some money to Putin, is what I think.
Right. So listen, the truckers, I guess they're heading to Washington, D.C. They want to cause chaos. Do you see them having success with that?
Well, my guides showed me that the thing in Ottawa was a litmus test. They were testing to see what they could pull off here. And here it's going to lose momentum because here in Illinois, the mask mandate's ending next week.
Okay.
I don't know about the vaccine mandates, but anyway, if they try the nation's capital, it's not going to be pretty. I mean,
they will be on them like flies to you know what.
They will be, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I was in St. Croix, so I knew that there was a lot going on in Canada. I didn't know what Trudeau actually did, but I'm sure that he took action.
Oh, he said enough. He put down the sword, and they confiscated their trucks, and they arrested them, and they've lost their license to be truckers. They're auctioning off their trucks to pay for the expense.
That's what they should have done.
Because they weren't hurting. They were hurting the people in Canada and the United States.
Well, I said that Trudeau was going to get tough. So if they're going to bring it here, it's not going to be pretty, I can tell you.
No, they're going to say, take them out, take them all out.
That's right.
Not kill them, but arrest them. Do
Correct.
just what Canada finally did. Canada was trying to work something out, forget about it.
I mean, they have a right to protest, but they don't have a right to disrupt traffic and disrupt, supply and all of that. They just don't have that right.
Well, Governor, and what is it? 80% or 90% of Canadian truckers are vaccinated. So
correct.
And the money that somebody hacked into the money that they got, and a lot of it was from these Christian people in the United States.
Yeah, but a lot of that money didn't go where it was supposed to go. It went right into those organizers' pockets. Don't kid yourself.
Well, no, because Canada confiscated a bunch of that money.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yay.
they shut them down. Will the Tennessee Governor Bill Lee be reelected in 2022? That's from Serenity Springs.
I don't know. Is he a Democrat or Republican? I don't know.
He's a Republican.
Hmm.
He's Governor Bill Lee in Tennessee.
It's going to be a while before Tennessee.
Yeah, I just felt that too.
I see a Republican governor there in the future.
So this is an interesting question. Do you see an affordable way for low income to get rid of bed bugs?
Yes, there are. And you know what? You can email me, mel@meldoerr.com with that question. I used to work in healthcare, and my husband works.
So did I. But I can't tell you about bed bugs.
Oh, me too. I could tell you about scabies.
Oh my God. Herpes, crabs. You got them all.
You name it. Been there, done that. Anyway, yes, there are effective ways. So if you'll email me, they, believe it or not, even in higher end hotels, it's a really common problem and they check all the time. So there's ways
Yeah.
you can do it. And it's not going to cost you a lot of money.
There was a hotel, a bed and breakfast right down the street from Angel Heart. And a friend of mine had an event and everybody stayed there and somebody had to leave in the middle of the night due to bed bugs.
Yep. They're going to come back, but
Yeah.
there's
How
ways.
did they get rid of, how did the hotels, did they just get rid of the linen or?
They have, well, the linen you can wash, but because they stay in the seams of the mattress, so you have to exterminate. You have to get, a lot of times, get rid of the mattresses. But there are ways for like underprivileged or lower income families to take care of bed bugs.
Okay.
Lots of times you can use certain essential oils they don't like.
Okay, so Red Eye said, when someone comes to you in death and says nothing and presents themselves as quickly as they came, 5 seconds, and you had a bad relationship with them last time you saw them and haven't had any contact, why did this person come to me? I knew he died before his obituary was published. Why did he come to me? Oh, so that person was thinking too.
Sometimes people need forgiveness.
Yeah, sometimes they just want to say, it's okay.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or condoning bad behavior. It means you move forward. But I always say any wrong they commit, you forgiving them doesn't mean they get to go to the next level. That's karma they have to work on from the other side.
Right.
So
did you ever get any hit on the Ark of the Covenant? Did you ever feel anything about that?
What's the question about it?
Because just said, what happened to the Ark of the Covenant?
Well, I think it was hidden for a very, very long time.
Right. Is it still around or has it been destroyed?
I hear it was dismantled.
Okay.
I get that question a lot, but it's funny. It would be interesting to see what it really was. Like the supposedly the chalice that Christ drank out of. Everybody thinks it's gold. It's this. It's that. It was probably wooden, believe it or not.
Yeah, and it probably just disintegrated.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, here's a good question. Will Liz Cheney win in Montana?
I see her winning, but I got a funny feeling she might go as, I keep saying and Kevin said this too, and you did too, Linda, that there's like the Republicans will split. And so, she could say she's an old order Republican or what the Republicans used to be, or an independent Republican, whatever. But I see her running again on a ticket like that and winning.
Yeah, because she might lose this time. I see heartache.
Correct.
Some other man takes her place.
Right.
But then something good happens for her.
But she's not done in politics.
No.
They have awakened a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
And I do not agree with her politically, but she ain't done. I mean, she's nowhere near done.
Right.
What about political parties? That's a question I would, some of my people might ask. Do you see, I keep seeing a progressive workers party coming along, but the Republicans I see splitting in half or splitting.
Yeah, and a better Republican Party coming about.
That's what I think. And I think that would be one that Cheney would be involved in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, McConnell's going to be very surprised with midterms.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to get the chalice. He's not going to get it.
This is my heart.
And I see a whole new, there will be some of those irritants in there.
Of course.
From the red states, but.
This is a violin playing for Mitch McConnell. My heart bleeds for you, Mitch.
Right. Do you think that pain in the ass Rand Paul will actually win again?
I even think, oh, there's a dog.
Jack says no. That is so.
No. I think Kentuckians are done with them. I just thought of something. A lot of those people that started the Lincoln Project, like Kellyanne Conway's husband and a lot of those Republicans, I think Liz Cheney is already talking to them behind closed doors to get.
A new
You
thing.
got it. Right. Exactly.
Or maybe
Father.
this is what we're getting. She may lose a primary as a Republican, but comes back as a write-in or a different, okay,
That's right. And don't forget, she's got her father.
yeah. Now, let me ask you something. Are you feeling, I'm really feeling this will be the Queen's last year.
I do too.
Yeah.
You and I had a show back, I don't know, in January, February, and I saw her hovering then. I thought it would be sooner. You were right. It was a bit later, but this.
Yeah, because I said she'd make the Jubilee. And I also feel she might hit her birthday.
I'm
in
sorry.
April. She might hit her birthday in April.
I
And
think
then
she'll
it'll
hit
be
that.
after that. Yeah.
I think she'll hit that. But I mean, she's tough. She really
Yeah.
is tough. I think a lot of Brits are hanging on because they don't want her son to be the king.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Well,
especially
my friend,
with the Queen, that's going to be horrible.
I know.
Everybody will be up and on.
I'm not seeing, we'll look in that later, but I definitely see a big deal if Camilla
So do I. I keep
becomes
thinking.
queen. I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe she gets sick even, I don't know. But I see people demanding for William. William will be the last king. I think that monarchy will be gone.
You think so?
I do.
Hmm.
They're only there for show. It's not really, they don't really run the world.
Well, maybe the monarchy as it is.
But see, they have more money than God. And people are struggling. These young kids coming up, they're even saying, why do we have these people, these old farts, paying them all this money? They got all this money and we're over here struggling.
Well,
she fussed about paying taxes. The Queen did.
well, they're the rich. I think they're one of the richest families in the world.
Yeah.
Very wealthy. And
So it's the Vatican,
right. That's true.
So
I say share the wealth a little bit.
share the wealth. Share the wealth. All right, my friend. Well, I gotta take my grandson for his mom to get, and then I'm gonna head out into Nevada, and I'll have time to waste because we gotta be in Napa by 4:30.
I'll have a good time. Next Monday, my show,
Yeah,
10 o'clock. Is that good?
sure.
I'll have questions. I was.
I know, me too. But listen, we got pretty near 100 questions. Not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so.
All right, my dear, you stay well. Give your grandson
Bye,
a hug.
honey.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone.